Good evening, everyone, and we welcome you to the GKR Royale 130, brought to you by Full Throttle Performance. As we are here at the round of 8, the start of the round of 8, grid cars are getting ready to the grid. I'm waiting on Josh to get back into the booth as he was running just a couple of seconds late. As I hear him coming up. Are you with me, Josh?
Yes, I am. I am.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting race as I see a lot of drivers setting a lot of fast lap times here. We'll go ahead and get through the grid.
Yeah, we will go ahead and get through your qualifying grid here tonight, Chris. Like you said, interesting is the case. This is going to be an awesome race here tonight at Las Vegas. We know how much of a good track this is for this package. It's going to be a fun race, and with the playoffs changing so dramatically last week with the departure of Joshua Susi on his own terms with some stuff going on outside of the rig. This playoff and this championship run has been split wide open. We're going to go ahead and get through your qualifying grid here before these cars get wide open, though. As starting here tonight on pole position will be that number 2 of Ken Baum Jr. He'll be starting here in that P1 position with a fast lap time, but also a fast race car to his outside. It's going to be that number 25, that Ford Mustang Turn 2 Terribles. It's his teammate of Kevin Click. And then right behind him in third place, we're seeing that 33 of Joshua Gaiman. He'll be running that Nitro machine here tonight. Looking to put on a good show here at Vegas with Michael Zuver, the Team Sparkle Unicorn 96, and that Miller Lite Ford Mustang, starting in that P4 spot. We got Dakota Coon starting in that P5 position. He'll be in that Ford Mustang number 95 with David Smill Jr., the Nitro 27, starting in that P6 position. Another Nitro driver there. It's Chad Engel in that 35 machine. He'll be starting in that 7th position in the bow ties with that Lucas Nilge's Team Sparkle Unicorn number 3 Toyota Camry, starting in that P8 position. Go back here to Jeremy Zarfos, the Turn 2 Terribles 29 machine. He'll be starting P9 here with Chris Lynn, one of the other Turn 2 Terribles guys. He'll be starting in that P10 position. Kyle McCarthy didn't even know that was him down there with a whole new look on that race car. He'll be starting here P11 tonight in that 24 Nitro machine with Andrew May starting on his outside. He rolled up a little bit as the grid is starting to go here. He'll be starting on that P11 position as we'll get back here. Oh my goodness, they're starting to go everywhere here. We're getting EO Wells and stuff here for a second, so let them get situated back up here for just one moment. As they are all over the place right now in the live timing. I don't know who's where. Okay, here we go. So William Brown will be in that 13th position. I went from 13th to now I'm in 16th. I'm confused. Yeah, it's all over the place for me, Chris. I'm sorry. My live timing is freaking out. Is William Brown 13th? He's scored 13th for me.
It's going to be William Brown in 13th.
There we go. There we go. It's starting to even out for me. You can continue if you've got it. Sorry about that,
William
guys.
Brown in 14th, William Hardmark 15th, Jimmy Brown 16th, Nick Cannon 17th, Robbie Bice 18th, 19th going to Jonathan Coombs, 20th Stan Mayberry, Brody Green 21st, and Bill Hell is going to round out the field, taking EOL to the end of the field.
Thank you, Chris. Sorry about that. My live timing just went absolutely crazy right there when they all started going around each other. As the pace car is off, it'll be Ken Baum Jr., who is going to have the field. He is going to bring the field to green. A little bit of a wobble there, but like, nevertheless, a great start as the 2 of Ken Baum Jr. off to a good start here early. But Chris, look at that big pack forming up behind him. We know here at Las Vegas, very wide open down here. We're going to see these guys with some big-time racing, some big-time moves here. What are we expecting to see from these drivers here early?
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to grab a setup, not the setup he uses, but a setup from Ken Baum, and run a couple of laps. When I say a couple, I mean about 200, 215 laps. Just trying to get a feel for what these drivers were going to be, feeling like, well, the track conditions might be a little different. Didn't have a lot of cars on track whenever I was doing it, but this bottom lane is going to look really heavy. We see Ken Baum running all the way down to that bottom lane. That's going to be something that you see, but get Lutz down there on that bottom lane as well. Got a little bit on that white line. That's something you got to watch out for. But that middle to low lane is going to be where you're going to kind of hang out at. Then you're going to see, about 25, 30 laps. That rear tire is going to start wearing out, and you're going to see a lot of looseness and see about a couple of seconds off that lap time.
Yeah, we do know the tires do like to wear off here a lot at Las Vegas, but see Michael Zuber already starting to try to work that third lane as he is up there in that number 96 machine. Taking it to Kevin Click, and right now he is out in the lead position. We'll have to see if he can hold it through 3 and 4 here. And it looks like he is going to make the pass 6. A new leader down the back stretch at lap number 3. It's Michael Zuber right now in the Team Sparkle Unicorn 96 machine, and so he'll bring that Miller Lite machine around out of 4, and he will be scored your leader for lap number 3.
Yeah, something to watch out here. Like I was saying, a lot of drivers were liking to run that high lane really early on in the, I did do a race. One of the as I see it looks like Chris Lynn getting loose back there. I was going to say, a lot of the drivers like to run that high lane really early because the tires will start wearing off on that bottom lane a lot faster than it does on those top lanes. But you do lose a lot of time on that top lane. But like I said, that bottom lane, there's kind of a pocket that you can get into it, and if you feel it, the car will just plant into it. You can almost go into it full throttle with the right setup. So it's something to watch out for. Who gets loose and who doesn't, because a lot of that looseness might be going from a setup letting you go full throttle. I'm back here. Oh, sorry. Back on board here with that 29 of Jeremy Zarfos. We also see that 9 of William Brown on his inside. I know William Brown is one of those drivers
27 just got loose. So did the 35 of Chad Ingalls. Sorry, Chris. I thought for a second there we were going to have a moment. We're starting to get a big stack up here. William Brown and that William Hobart machine on the outside. We're 3 wide there for a second. Going to get it back down to 2 wide as they get down here into the corner. Sorry, Chris, thought we were going to have a big moment there for a second.
We got 3 playoff drivers sitting in the picture right now. We've got that 9. The 9 of William Brown, and you got David Smill also right there. Kyler McCarthy, I did see him in the picture, but I think he actually might be a little further up in that pack. And also Lucas Nilge's right up in front of him as well. So a lot of playoff drivers right here in this little pack of cars that we've got going on.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, Chris, that a track like Las Vegas can't afford to get yourself caught up here early. Kind of just got to race this race as best as you can, but you're going to be in this pack, so got to deal with what you got to deal with and got to keep your nose clean. It's going to be a long race here tonight, 130 laps. It's going to go by fairly quick if we stay green, but still, this race could turn into one of those races that you got to keep your car clean and hope you get to the end with, pretty much unscathed. And this is a tough track to run with some heavy damage, so we'll have to see how these guys get it here. We did see 3 wide there for a moment, and you can go below the apron here. Obviously, if you're aware of that, you know that. But if you're seeing that and thinking, man, they're going below the white line, there is no white line, yellow line rule here. You can go to the apron there on the front stretch and use it to your advantage. It's William Brown. Oh, yeah, that's big contact between him and Hobart.
Man, him and William Hobart making a little bit of contact going into turn 3. Saw him getting a little loose. Whoa,
now they're racing each other hard.
Yeah, William Brown up there pinching that door, trying to say, hey, man, I don't appreciate that. Man had to really crank on that wheel left to keep him from hitting him.
Ooh, Hobart's trying to cut his nose off.
Still door to door, though. William Brown not trying to relent that space at all. He's going to try to see if he can push Hobart up the track just a little bit. Looks like William Brown just going to stay on that inside lane. Not going to pressure the issue too much. You see right in front of him, Jeremy Zarfos trying to get around that 32 of Christopher Lynn.
You know, not a good spot for William Brown. He's got 3 turn 2 terribles guys around him.
Yeah, he's got a teammate of Nick Cannon right behind him. It looks like he was going to clear Hobart there for a second. But
he's going to make this pass. Unless they have the best mid to outside lane here. I think William Brown's going to get a twofer on this lap. 32 Chris Lynn, is putting up a good battle here on the outside.
Whoa.
But Brown's going to get scored in front of him. So technically he got 2 passes on that lap. And I think he's going to clear him here going off into 1 and 2.
Yeah, Hobart's also trying to clear him. Man, really pushed Christopher Lynn up into the top lane there.
Chris, speaking of somebody moving to the field right now, look at Kyler McCarthy. Started all the way back there in that 11th position, rolled himself up into 4th, that pink number 24 machine. Looking very hot here tonight as he has rolled himself up into P4. for. And, it's one of those things, Chris, we've seen the Nitro drivers have success, but, it's one of those things of Josh Susie kind of carried the team in the win column there. So seeing these guys all being able to break out here and try to have their own success, I think we're starting to see some of these new stars, like we said, come out here. This could be one of those things. Look forward to Kyle McCarthy. We know he's always been fast here in those late runs, and when he has a car on those 1.5 miles, these intermediate tracks, he's always been very fast, very quick, and been in the run for it. Just seems to always get, mangled up there towards the mid-run late race. It just seems to be one of those things that happens to him, but right now it could be a turn of change for that 24, Chris, and that Nitro camp over there in Kyle McCarthy's pit stall. They might have a new momentum behind them.
Yeah, as you're watching right now, the pass for that second place position, Ken Baum is trying to make a move on his teammate, Kevin Click. Both drivers driving for a championship right now. So this is one of those things. Going into the round of 8, we've got 2 more races in the round of 8. So that's going to be something that we, going into Homestead next week. Good position here is going to be where you want to be. You don't want to go into Homestead in a bad position, because then after that, you've got Martinsville. You have to really hope that you're in a good spot. Going into Martinsville, whoa, is Kevin Click getting a little loose back there?
And speaking of good spot, Colin McCarthy would definitely need that. He's right there close to the cutoff line. Not close to the cutoff line, excuse me. He's right there in 6th place. We know we are in round 8, so if he has a night here tonight that goes bad for him, it could put him in a bad position. So needs some success for the 24 machine as well here from this Lucas Nilges machine. He's right behind him in 7th position. 5th on track, but 7th in points. So a couple of these guys needing some good finishes here tonight. Speaking of another playoff driver, William Brown right behind him. He's sitting 2nd in points. Look at that big loose for Lucas Nilges in that 3 machine.
Yeah, got right up there on the back bumper. Oh, got right up on the back bumper of Kyler McCarthy, and then got down on that white line and then just got it a little loose. That's something I was talking about, Josh. Like I said, I turned about 220 laps, and the reason I said 220 is because about maybe 5 into them, I would spin out and slam into the wall. So these drivers have made it a lot further than I did the first time I came out here. So that's something to watch out, though. Getting down on that white line, you can get that tire just a little loose, and it can really spell a disaster for you. But not anybody getting too loose. You saw Lucas Nilges get a little loose there, but not anything that's going to hurt him.
As it looks like we are getting the notification. Yeah, we are. On the ticker, the 2 machine moved himself up there into the lead, so we got a battle here now for this lead position here, Chris, between Michael Zuver and Ken Baum. And got to say, this is one of those times, Chris, that Michael Zuver putting a little bit of surprise on some of these drivers out here tonight, I think. Doing a very good job. Looks like he got loose there for a moment in the outside lane, but he is going to corral it back under him. And these guys are having a really good, wholehearted battle right now. This is 2-wide racing at its finest.
Yeah, you're seeing Zuver take really all the way to the top lane. That's going to slow him down for the momentum. Whoa,
oh my goodness.
Might have gotten loose there at the perfect time to let Ken Baum get by, because, man, that could have spelled disaster for that 2 machine.
He definitely got loose. Definitely got loose.
Man, that scared me there for a second. See if we can go back and... That was not the right one. Just right on board here with that 96. See what happens. He's riding that top lane. You see him already getting loose up there on that top lane, but it looks like he gets into the wall. Oh, and shoots down there. Oh, just trying to stay off the wall as best he can. But, man, Ken Baum just barely eking by there. Now you're starting to see a little bit of separation between your 1, 2, and 3. William Brown now going to assume that 4th position over Kyler McCarthy. So maybe Kyler McCarthy's starting to have a little bit of trouble in that car. Maybe he's trying to do a little bit of conserve, not trying to push the car as hard. But right now he's got Nick Cannon all over that back bumper.
But Nick Cannon has been a force to be reckoned with. Or excuse me, William Brown has been a force to be reckoned with this season. Nick Cannon as well, a fast driver, just has not had the success that he's wanted to have here mid-season. And also took a little bit of a break from some of the races earlier in the season. But at the moment, William Brown's looking very hot, Chris. 4th place, and he's got his teammate Nick Cannon coming up behind him as he's going to get into that inside of that 24. of Colin McCarthy. We were speaking highly on him a moment ago for making up positions. He's starting to fall back now, and now Nick Cannon is your big mover. 13 positions. Started
Yeah,
in that 18th spot, now in 5th.
yeah, and a good-looking race car from that 24 too. I like that pink. So right now, like you said, he's lost a couple of positions. We see Ken Baum's now put about a second and a half gap, or excuse me, a second gap between him and Michael Zuver. So maybe Michael Zuver eat up a little bit of his equipment trying to battle that 2 machine, and just now decided he's going to kind of go on a little bit of conserve. Kevin Click, you see he's starting to slowly cruise up into that rear view mirror of that 96 machine, and then William Brown slowly peeking into the picture back there as well. So we're starting to see a lot of these drivers come up from the back now, catching this front pack. See Nick Cannon, looks like he's running that middle lane. Whoa, William Brown getting a little loose on that inside lane. As you see, Nick Cannon makes a pass for that that 4th position. We see Lucas Nilges looks like he's also making a move on that 13 of William Hobart. Gonna go ahead and take over that 7th position. It looks like Ken Baum now has got about a 2-second gap between him and Kevin Click. Kevin Click was able to make the pass there on Michael Zuver. So now a new 2nd position for Kevin Click. You see Nick Cannon slowly starting to creep into the picture. Now Michael Zuver starting to slowly fall off.
Yeah, he is starting to fall off big time, Chris, here. Michael Zuber might have, I think, realistically eaten the tires up on his race car. He was driving pretty hard there, got a big lead, and oh, look at that loose. Big loose on that inside lanes. And he is still fighting that race car, so definitely used the tires up on that 96 machine, it seems like, here early in this run. 27 laps in to this 130-lap race here at beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The Full Throttle Cup guys are out here racing hard tonight, Chris. Almost 30 laps in, and we haven't seen really much of contact or incident. Knock on wood, say that with a, say that holding your breath, twisting your, or crossing your toes, whatever you may, crossing your fingers, you can't jinx that. So we'll have to see how they're going to get going here. As Michael Zuver is still just fighting that race car. He might be one of our earliest pit stops here tonight.
Yeah, look at this gaggle of race cars starting to stack up back here. We see the 69 of Matthew Fitz moving his way up. Yeah, we see Matthew Fitz moving his way up. Whoa.
Our honorary commentator last week.
Oh, as you see him getting loose. Man,
he just pushed Hobart into the corner big time. Matthew Fitz is saying, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Yeah, Lucas Nilge's moving all the way up the track. Man, a lot of cars coming out of nowhere. Joshua Gaiman up out of nowhere.
We're starting to see these mid-run cars starting to form up here that are, really starting to find a little bit of their groove. You do have guys that set their car up for late race. Oh my goodness, Lucas Nilge's almost just got collected there by the 29 of Jeremy Zarfos. Seems like he's going to get it back going. Got the 12 of Jimmy Barr right there, the 33 of Joshua Gaiman. Joshua Gaiman started in that 4th position. He's fallen all the way back to 11th, so he's having a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to gather it back up a little bit, though.
A little bit, man, but he is falling back big time.
See Kevin Click starting to get,
Nick Cannon falling back off.
Yeah, I was going to say Nick Cannon is starting to catch Kevin Click. You see Michael Zuver now is falling back to that 4th position. Colin McCarthy is now on his back bumper. William Brown, as you said, Josh, is falling back 2 positions now into that 7th spot. It looks like Matthew Fitz was able to get around William Hobart. He's now leading that train up to the front. Oh, the 33. Joshua Gaiman getting a little loose on that top lane. Jonathan Coombs moved himself up 11 positions. It's one of those Sparkle Unicorn drivers.
Spark Unicorn OGs.
Yeah, Sparkle Unicorn OGs.
I'm like an honorary Sparkle Unicorn member, I think.
Whoa, is somebody back in the wall?
I definitely fit into the Sparkle Unicorn of like
Robbie
2021. When all they did was dodge Rex and be in Rex. That was my Team Sparkle Unicorn, my favorite Team Sparkle Unicorn era. This caution was brought to you by Team Sparkle Unicorn. I remember those copy pastas. I still see them every now and then.
Whoa,
It
is
looks
it?
like Colin McCarthy was either making the pass there and going down the track. Not sure what happened. We caught it at the tail end there. Could have gotten loose as well. Not sure, but either way, passed Michael Zuver, William Brown in tow as well. But Colin McCarthy removing his way back up to the field here.
Well, it looks like Zuver might have had a better corner exit, but it looks like he's maybe gonna go ahead and give it up to that 9 machine.
Clear high, clear high.
Man, Zuver was leading the race for about 10 laps, and then you saw Ken Baum just kind of came up there and took over it and hasn't looked back yet. Now 2.7 seconds up on his teammate Kevin Click, who still has Nick Cannon in that rear view mirror. Still looking a little ways, only 4.4 seconds off of him, and it doesn't sound like a lot, when you think of only a half a second, but that is a long time on track as we see Nick Cannon getting a little loose. That's going to mess him up.
I think Nick Cannon's going to close the gap here. He's doing a good job moving himself to the field, unless he's just used all of his equipment up. I know Nick Cannon's a pretty seasoned driver, so he should be able to manage here, and I think he's going to have a decent run if he just keeps it clean. As we ride on board with the best livery in the league. You can read upside down. You're probably giggling at that hood right now. I know I did when I realized what it said after like 3 races. As you'll see Nick Cannon rolling into that middle lane, it seems like, here in 3 and 4. Really using that seam on the left side to hook up Kevin Click going down to the bottom, but Kevin Click starting to pull away.
Yeah, I also want to point something out. I don't know, let's see. Looks like everybody is using 4th gear except for William Brown using 5th. That was something that I was thinking about.
Maybe saving gas.
I wonder if a couple of drivers are using different setups that allow that, because I noticed that 4th gear you're still able to get around, but 5th gear was more of when you were in a pack of cars.
I mean, do you think he could be trying to save gas? Wouldn't that be lower RPMs?
No, it would be higher RPMs.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't know. Gamers are gonna game.
Yeah, well, like I said, some setups might have the gear ratio set up to where they don't have to go up into 5th. That is interesting. We'll have to see if anybody else is having that or is doing that as well. But Michael Zuver, it looks like he's starting to fall off really bad here. Matthew Fitz now starting to reel him in. But also, speaking of, Joshua Gaiman on the outside of that 69 of Matthew Fitz, reeling him down. And then Jimmy Barr moved himself up 8 positions. He's now tracking down Matthew Fitz and Joshua Gaiman. Excuse me, thought I heard something, but guess I didn't. We'll go back on board here with Ken Baum and see he's got still about a 2 7/10 gap over Kevin Click. So right now, like we were saying, Ken Baum is still in a good position where he doesn't have to really worry about anything behind him. And then Kyler McCarthy is now starting to come under attack from William Brown and Nick Cannon.
Yeah, Nick Cannon and William Brown have had some good-looking race cars here tonight. It seems like they might be coming a victim to the tire game here just a little bit as well. It seems like everybody's starting to have just some few issues there with their tire life. As it seems like Nick Cannon is really falling off in 3 and 4 to everybody. As you notice, William Brown has kind of pulled a little bit of a gap here just out of 3 and 4.
Yeah, I was going to say, I also noticed that too. It looks like Kyler McCarthy has got William Brown in tow of him, and then Nick Cannon might be getting a little loose there on that bottom
Might he
lane.
go down pit road? No. Like he was about to slow it down for a second.
Yeah, it did look like he was about to slow it down. As whoa, as it looks like Michael Zuver into the wall.
Yeah, Michael Zuver's wobbling around big time. He might have front end damage. Yeah, he does. Definitely has body damage. He's wiggling a big time. He might have a little bit of toe issue. That car just looks unstable, does it not? Go on board here. Oh, he's about to spin out. Oh yeah, he's got front end damage.
He's got front end damage. That car is definitely, that wheel is definitely turned to the left.
You think he'll get meatballed?
I don't know. He's gonna get past here. That is a lot of front end damage. You can definitely see it. Yeah, you can definitely see the camber is completely off. The toe is turned in. Yeah, he's got a bent toe link or something.
I mean, he's doing a good job right now trying to ride it out, but it's going to be hard to hold on to that race car.
Yeah, already losing 9 positions just then. As we'll try to keep an eye on him for just a minute as we're going back on here. Ken Baum has still got a 2.8 second gap over his teammate Kevin Click. Kyler McCarthy is starting to slowly fall off of Kevin Click, but William Brown not letting go of Kyler McCarthy. And then Nick Cannon, you see he's falling back to about a 1.7 second gap. Joshua Gaiman is starting to slowly pull that gap in. It looks like Nick Cannon got a little loose at a corner exit, so it's going to allow Joshua Gaiman to make this move on the outside. You should see him pass him. Whoa, is it Joshua Gaiman?
Pitting. We got drivers pitting.
Is William Brown down pit lane.
Lucas Nilges, Matthew Fitz, Nick Cannon, Jonathan Coombs, Michael Zuver. So Sparkle Unicorn. All down pit road this time. Oh yeah, you could really see that damage on the Zuver machine.
Yeah, that toe is bent.
As they will all come down pit road, get in their stalls. We'll see the Sparkle Unicorn team move their way back out on the racetrack here in just a few moments. As right now, still holding the lead is that number 2 machine of Ken Baum Jr. A 2.7 second gap to Kevin Cliggins. I think I just heard Jimmy Barr say he was coming down pit road, maybe? Oh, looks like Ken Baum's coming down pit road. And Kevin Click got a fast entry. He made up so much time just on the entry there.
Looks like Jimmy Barr down pit lane, Bill Hells, and William Hobart all down pit lane. William Hobart on his way out, actually.
Kyle McCarthy did assume the lead for the moment, but he is going to make his way down pit road. I don't even think he's going to score a lap leading.
Yeah, that is one of the things about this pit lane that is really crazy. You see the white lines there. You can go down and hit it earlier, but you lose a lot of time. But also, coming off that banking onto the to the straightaway, man, or into the pit road, it is brutal.
Yeah, it for sure is brutal. It's not fun. A lot of these 1.5 mile ovals have some really weird transition on the banking. Or on the apron, I should say. Really awkward banking on the apron. That's what I meant to say. Goodness gracious. And then when you transition up on the track or transition off the track, it just gets the car all out of whack.
Right now, Josh. Oh, excuse me, Josh. Go ahead.
We said the same thing at the same time. It's crazy. But yeah, right now Joshua Gaiman out in the lead. Looks like he might be getting ready to slow up. Could be tripping. Nah, I thought maybe he was backing it up. He is going to be still out here in the lead at lap number 50. We'll see if maybe gotten a little bit of some information from some of his teammates, letting him know like, hey, we might be able to go a little bit longer here. It seems like a couple of guys wanting to stay out here just a little bit longer, but Seattle's going to have to come around and play for him. You got Gaiman, Zarfos, Smill, Chris Lynn, Brady Green, Stan Mayberry, Chad Engel, Ken Baum Jr., Kevin Click, and William Brown, who have not come down pit road yet. William Brown's come down, hasn't he? Yeah, William Brown came down. And so did Ken Baum and Kevin Click. I'm crazy. I don't know why I said all them. It was just who we were looking at, so they weren't set as the lap timer.
Yeah, it wasn't showing their
or
name
they
in the
weren't
ticker.
showing lap in the timer, yeah.
Right now, Joshua Gaiman is getting caught by Jeremy Zarfos just a little bit. I'm noticing that the time is slowly ticking down, but going into corners, it looks like maybe Zarfos is getting off the gas a little bit more than Joshua Gaiman. But as I say that, really big drive out of turn 4 for Jeremy Zarfos. Now cut that down to about a half a second. We see Ken Baum, who once everybody comes down pit lane, will assume the lead. Right now, it looks like Jonathan Coombs just set the fastest lap of the session, 30.30. So a fast lap there from that 07 of Jonathan Coombs. You know, he says, I just want to go fast, so he's going fast.
Yeah, we got a couple of strategies out here, Chris, that are going to be interesting to see how they work out here. Maybe they're thinking we might be set up for some late race shenanigans. I'm not sure. Right now, Ken Baum is tearing his way back through the field. He's going to put himself back on the lead lap here, right?
Yeah, he's just unlapped himself, so Ken
So
Baum,
that was the game he passed, so.
Ken Baum pulling a Bill Elliott, unlapping himself. So looks like Zarfos down pit lane.
After seeing the few drivers that haven't pitted decided to come down, maybe that was Joshua Gaiman's internal sign to pit, getting loose in turn 2. We'll have to see if he does it here.
Yeah, as I was going to say, you can see the big time difference between Ken Baum and that 33 of Joshua Gaiman.
He's going to stay out.
You see William Brown making a tear through the field right now, trying to unlap himself as well. So he's going to take that outside lane. Ooh, it's Kevin Click all up the back bumper of that 33. So the 25 going to unlap himself as well.
Yeah, these guys are all starting to bully him here. They're getting past him now.
Yeah, as you're starting to see that big time difference between those old tires and new.
Is William Brown going to storm around on the outside?
Because right now, everybody is kind of just trying to get back on the lead lap. We see Joshua Gaiman, who has still not come down pit lane. David Smill, who is also a driver who has not come down pit lane. Brody Green, Chris Lynn, Chad Engel, and Stan Mayberry all not down pit lane so far, as it looks like Joshua Gaiman was passed by that 24 of Kyler McCarthy. So going to go ahead and set himself back out on the lead lap. As Nick Cannon looks like he's also about to set himself. Nick Cannon and Matthew Fitz about to unlap themselves.
Robbie Bice just disconnected due to packet loss.
Oh, that is
dropped due to download packet loss.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
I saw it in the chat and was like, how long ago did that happen? I looked over and it was lap 56 in the timer.
Whoa.
He went out at lap 55, so it just happened like 4 laps ago.
The 33 getting loose. So maybe we should be seeing him come down pit lane. I saw him getting really sideways coming out of turn 4 there. See David Smill starting to catch him. And Jonathan Coombs also on a fast tear to that inside of that 27. Doesn't look like he's going to get it set up into the corner. There he goes, making the pass. You see the 27 getting loose. You see also the 3 and Lucas Nilges to get around that 27. Interesting strategy here from the Nitro drivers.
As the 07 of Jonathan Coombs pulling up to unlap himself.
Lucas Nilges will also unlap himself. So let's see, do we have any battles for position? Like I said, we have all 4.
Doesn't really seem like it. Maybe Kevin Click, Kyle McCarthy, and William Brown. Other than that, everybody's pretty much split. It's pretty much a single car racing right now.
Yeah, as you see, William Brown and Kevin Click on a tear past that 48 of Stan Mayberry.
He still hasn't taken tires.
No, has not come down pit lane. See Kyler McCarthy also getting around that 48 machine back there. So it looks like Chris Lynn down pit lane. Chad Engel also. Whoa, is Chad Engel sideways?
This could bring out a caution.
That's off the racing line. He's going to get it straightened back out. Man, unfortunate there for that 35. That's what I was talking about. Coming off of that banking change. If you don't have it woed down right, you can get sideways.
Yeah, you definitely got to have that correct and hit it the right way, brake the right way, or you're going to spin out like that. So, unfortunate for him, but it does happen. As it looks like Joshua Gaiman is going to go ahead and pull himself down pit road. Whoa! For a second there, didn't think he was going to make the commitment line, as David Smil is going to bring himself down pit road as well. So, Brady Green will assume the lead here at lap number 64. And he still hasn't pitted, so we may see him soon.
Yeah, might have misjudged the pit stall and was like, man, I can't make it. I'm just going to go around one more time, as you're seeing. I want to say that is the 22 of Andrew May about to go on the inside of that 91 of Brody Green. Get that lap back. So we should see that 91 possibly come down pit lane here, as it looks like he is getting it slowed up. So down pit lane is that 91. Whoa, same thing.
He might have gotten a speeding penalty. No, he didn't. He didn't. I thought the commitment line was, or the speeding cone was back there, but that was the commitment line he passed. He should have gotten it woed up perfectly fine, but whew.
And also Stan Mayberry in pit lane as well.
A little bit of a pucker factor there for Brody Green.
Yes, right now Ken Baum has got a 4.5 second gap over William Brown and Kevin Click, but right now this battle for that second position, William Brown, Kevin Click, Kyler McCarthy, all duking it out up here at lap 66.
Woo! Thought Kevin Click and William Brown were about to make a little bit of contact there, as this is some hard racing now going on here at lap 67, Chris. We got a 3-car battle here for this P2 position, as 2 wide as we go on here to this quarter panel cam of Kevin Click. As you see that number 9 of William Brown. GG, it says on the quarter panel. That means good game, because you just got gamed by the gamer, my friend. William Brown to P2. We'll have to see if Kevin Click can recover here and what he's going to be able to do on this re-attack, or if he's just going to kind of give it to him and relax here. But he does have Kyle McCarthy, that 24 machine, another one of those Nitro drivers, come up in his mirror, and it's been one of those nights for Kyle McCarthy. He's just been kind of lurking around this top 3 here tonight. Hasn't gotten up there and tasted it yet, but he is lurking for sure.
Yeah, he's not giving up his strategy just yet. It looks like that 24 Kyler McCarthy not trying to press the issue too much. You see him not all over the back bumper like Kevin Click is with William Brown right now. They are really battling for that position. And right now that 24 machine is just kind of watching it in his mirror, in his windshield right now, as he sees that 25 and that 29 really duking it out up there. So right on board here with Kyler McCarthy, so you can see what he's seeing from his point of view. Whoa, it looks like Kevin Click might have got a little loose on that bottom lane. He's going to have to go ahead and tuck it into that 9, up into behind that 9 machine. But it looks like Kevin Click's still on that bottom lane, not wanting to give it up.
Yeah, it definitely seems like Kevin Click is trying to make his presence known towards that inside lane, but big drive in from that number 9 of William Brown here. It's gonna have to see how this 25 is gonna be able to get a big run off the outside. I think he might have touched the wall a little bit. As we get down to 3 and 4 here, 3 and 4 here again, we'll have to see how this Kevin Click machine is going to attack. He seems to have a fast race car, just doesn't seem to be able to put it in the place where he needs to put it. That William Brown machine taking up a good bit of this racetrack and doing a great job to make it hard to pass. Also running a very good, consistent, fast lap.
Yeah, that's something that I was just thinking about, Josh. It looks like William Brown really settling into this race car right now. Even though he's got Kevin Click on his back bumper, he knows he's got that faster line. He knows everything that Kevin Click's throwing at him right now. He can pretty much just ride where he's at, and that 25 is gonna have to really be aggressive to not hit him, and like you said, just making his car as wide as he can so that 25 can't get around him. You see the 9 machine getting on that quarter panel, just not letting him get anywhere. That 25 getting a little loose on the inside. You're going to see the 9 machine get a better drive out of turn 2. Let's see going into turn 3 if the 25 has anything to say. William Brown just going to ride that top lane. Maybe give it up here in just a second. Sees that 25 is pushing a little harder than he wants to be pushing. But you see that 25 getting loose. Still going to open up the door. Why not? Just keep racing him.
Yes, these guys are racing each other hard here, Chris. And you got to think, what is this going to do to the degradation of their tires? How much is this going to take their tire span and really kill it? You have to see if they're going to be able to manage here later in this run. Because if they came down at what? Lap 47. May have to pit one more time.
Yeah, and that might be something that these Nitro guys were looking at. They know these guys are going to have to come down pit lane. And they're still on the lead lap. Well, a couple of them are. Brody Green, Chad Engel isn't. But Joshua Game and David Smill still on the lead lap. So it's something that we're looking at, that maybe this was a strategy play from these guys. As man, William Brown still not able to settle out on Kevin Click. Kevin Click still being really aggressive on that inside lane.
Yeah, this is a hard battle here at lap 75. These guys have not given each other a single inch on the racetrack.
As right now, this is your closest battle for position on track. I see Jonathan Coombs is maybe battling out for that 8th and 9th position on Jeremy Zarfos. But right now, this is currently your closest battle on track. Ken Baum is 6.4 seconds out in front of William Brown and Kevin Click. And man, they are really just duking it out. This is one of the most craziest battles I've seen in a while. Whoa, door bang there.
That might have been a little bit of a netcode door bang. As we'll look out that back right window, right side of this 25 of Kevin Click. You see him go to the apron here. As they cross the start-finish line, lap 77, we're going to drive it off into 1 and 2. We'll see what this 9 of William Brown has to offer for this 25 of Kevin Click. And if he's going to be able to put it to him, I mean, he's got a fast race car. Just don't know if he's going to be able to make the pass. And coming up behind him is that 32 of Chris Lynn.
Yeah, those better
And
tires.
Brody Green, I think it's who is also back there. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I'm not right. I don't know.
Yeah, that is the 91 of Brody Green. Yeah, Chris Lynn and Brody Green did come down pit lane at 62 and 65, so a little bit fresher tires on these cars. You see Brody Green on the inside there of William Brown.
Yeah, it looks like those lap cars have split this battle up big time, Chris. does seem like William Brown has lost that touch to Kevin Click here with these lappers coming into play.
Yeah, as I just got word from Ryland saying that was a beautiful battle for second. It really was. But like you said, with that little bit of lap cars that came into play, it looks like William Brown might have backed off of it for a second.
Yeah, that was a good fought battle there for a few laps. So he might have used a little bit more of his tires than he wants to, and he's having to resettle.
Is right now Ken Baum, like I said, still 7 seconds out in front of it. Looks like Andrew May might be having a couple of issues. I've seen him come down pit lane at least 3 times now. So Chad Engel and Chris Lynn, Brody Green were able to get around that 25 of Kevin Click. So right now, let's see if William Brown has what it takes to get back up here to that 25 machine, battle it out for second, or if he's just going to kind of hang out where he's at right now, not really press the issue, knowing that he's got to come down pit lane again. Probably, I don't want to jump the gun for these guys, but I'm assuming they're going to have to at least come down pit lane one more time.
Yeah, I would think so too, Chris. There's definitely a confusion there for me. I mean, they pitted at 47. I definitely think with 130 laps, they're going to have to pit one more time. And it could possibly come soon. Not sure, though. I'm not Larry McReynolds.
Yeah, and that was one thing I forgot to I was like, oh, I want to see how these cars handle after 100 laps, 150 laps. Totally forgot to do fuel mileage. That was one thing that I completely forgot to do, and I punched myself in the leg for it now.
I get in there, drive like 6 laps, set a fast lap like on my 3rd one, wreck the car on my 5th one, and then realize that I don't want to do it anymore after I pull out of the pits, and it scores me for the 6th one.
Right now, we're just kind of going through the field as everybody's kind of separated out. We see Jeremy Zarfos and Lucas Nilges looks like they're battling for that 7th position. Then you see Jonathan Coombs starting to peek up into the picture. That old school Sparkle Unicorn livery. It's just good to see Jonathan Coombs back here in the Full Throttle League. Because right now, Jimmy Barr is hanging on to that 10th position. Bill Hell's in 11th. William Hobart in 12th. Joshua Gaiman in 13th. And then you see his teammate David Smill in that 14th position. They're going to be able to stay out a couple more laps than these guys. I wonder if this is going to be a strategy play from them, Josh. I wonder if they were trying to cut it off like halfway. Maybe they can make it a little further.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the strategy was. I would think the same thing with them going longer. Obviously, that means they have fresher tires towards the end of the race since they get to pit later. It makes sense, but doing that strategy now, they're not making up in a allotted amount of time, so
yeah,
I don't see it working.
And David Smill being one of those drivers that is in the top 8, being in this 14th position is somewhere you do not want to be right now.
You do not want to be at all. It's definitely going to hurt his chances here going into next week.
Yeah, so hoping that a caution or something comes out to where he can make up a little bit of time, but being this far back, like I said, this strategy play, like you said, not making up any time anymore. This is going to be interesting to see what goes down. Because right now you're starting to see William Brown slowly fall off to Kevin Click, now about a 1.5 seconds back is that 3rd position of William Brown. You see Nick Cannon about a 1.5 seconds back. Then Kyler McCarthy is starting to slowly peek his way back up into everything. He's trying to battle that Nick Cannon machine for that 4th position. So we'll ride on board here with that 24 machine, see if he can make a pass on that 88.
As these two starting to have a little bit of a battle of their own. as we're right on board here with this 24 of Kyle McCarthy. Lap number 88 here as he is following behind the number 88. Right up. Yeah, that's what I thought. As we'll see him roll back up to the back bumper here, and it's a big drive hit from Colin McCarthy. Right into the quarter panel. That's going to get Nick Cannon into the wall. These guys are going to make big contact.
Does it look like Nick Cannon got into the wall? We saw it there. No contact for that 24. Might have just got that 88 arrow loose.
Just where he put the race car, Nick Cannon had no other choice.
Got into the wall, but was able to keep it corralled underneath him, so keeping it going straight, and that's all that matters.
Matthew Fitz rolling in that 6th position right now, up 8 spots in the 69 Team Sparkle Unicorn machine. As a driver that was looking for some playoff success here, but hey, making it into the playoffs is probably good enough for the Fitz machine as he's going to pull it down pit road, and we're going to see him lock it up big time. He might have gotten slowed down, he might not have. I wasn't looking at the miles per hour. We'll have to see what this 69 machine is going to take. 4 tires and fuel. I'm assuming William Hobart down as well. So, Chris, I'm thinking we're starting to see those second pit stop cycles begin now.
Yeah, this is where we're going to start seeing all the strategies come out. Let's see how long it takes for these lead drivers to come down pit lane. That's going to be what I'm going to be watching for. As I'm getting a little bit of strategy, says Matthew Parkhurst says Gaiman and Smill trying to one-stop the whole race. That's what I was thinking. It's actually what I was thinking. Wondering if they know they have enough fuel. They could just set themselves up for a good position. They could set themselves up for a one-stop. So it looks like Kevin Click might be coming down pit lane.
So we'll see how these other drivers decide to start cycling in pit road here in just a few moments.
Jeremy Zarfo's down pit lane. So right now, Ken Baum out in the lead. Jimmy Barr has assumed that second position. You see right behind him, Lucas Nilge's that number 3 in that 3 spot. Jonathan Coombs right behind him, and then Bill Hell's in that 53 machine up into the 5th spot. So a good position here. As it looks like Jimmy Barr down pit lane. So I'm seeing right now Joshua Gaiman and David Smill, they are still bumper to bumper with each other. You're seeing the 24 there, Kyler McCarthy in front of them. You see is that the 29 Azarfos out of pit lane. Ken Baum has not come down pit lane. Lucas Nilge's has assumed that second spot, and then you see behind him Jonathan Coombs with that 25 of Kevin Click on the outside. Bill Hell's down pit lane. So Ken Baum down pit lane right now. He did get it slowed down.
Lucas Nilge's going to be coming down pit road as well, Chris, 2nd place. Jonathan Coombs going to be making his way down.
Ooh, William Brown. That was close.
Woo!
Woo.
Rose said, out my way. Jeremy Zarfos was not playing around right there.
So right now, Dakota Kuhn, Brody Green, Chris Lynn in that 5th position. See Michael Zuver moving back up into that 6th spot. Has not come down pit lane since lap 45. Good to see him after that little bit of damage. Let's see if he got see if that toe got knocked back in.
Oh, it did not. It looks worse.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's any better. Cannon with the fastest lap of the session, 30.10. So right now, I'm wondering if this strategy is gonna work. I'm looking at the times, and Ken Baum is only 18 seconds off of that lead pack. They're only a half a track away. Excuse me, a little more over half a track. I take that back. So we're gonna have to see how this strategy works out for this 33 and that 27.
Whoa, gaming loose.
Of course, as soon as I click away.
You know, I know they can make it on gas more than likely. It's just we'll have to see if Joshua Gayman's going to be able to hold on to the tires as well as David Smill. It's going to be a long run here on these tires. They're going to have to manage here.
Yeah, for 30 laps, I mean, with an 18-second gap between Zuver down pit lane. With an 18-second gap, excuse me, now it's down to 16 seconds. I don't think they're going to be able to make it 30 laps before Ken Baum's tires equal out.
Could get a caution though, but then again, the caution's not going to do much for everybody just pitted, so I'm a goober. It might be when I move my computer chair. Sorry, there's my computer chair arm up against my desk. And my mic is right at the end of my desk. That's probably what you heard. Sorry.
As we're seeing the 12 of Jimmy Barr pull up to the 27 of David Smill. Ooh,
Joshua Gayman is dealing with some demons in that rear end right now.
You see the 12 of Jimmy Barr all over the back bumper there of that 27 of David Smill. You see Bill Hell's now coming into the picture. Those old tires just showing you they are not working out.
Ken Baum only 14 seconds back now, Chris.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see this strategy working out.
As with 26 laps to go here, Chris, 27 laps to go here. Joshua Gayman and David Smith are getting caught at a decent pace right now. About a second a lap. We'll have to see if it's obviously I think it's going to go down if we get stuck in traffic here for Ken Baum less, but right now it looks like he's making up a decent amount of time. It just depends on if he's got enough time left. 25 seconds, or excuse me, 25 laps to go. Goodness gracious, I don't know why I couldn't think of what I'm trying to say.
It looks like Zuver down pit lane for 2 minutes now. It looks like he went ahead and
yeah, that race car was beat up, man. When he was in the corner, the wheel was almost over, like a full 120 degrees.
yeah, so it looks like Michael Zuver just going to go ahead and try to get what damage he can get done on that race car to get back out there. Good to see Zuver still turning laps after taking that big shot, though.
Man, it stinks, man. He was leading a good portion of the start of this race.
He was. Stan Mayberry down pit lane. So right now, Ken Baum is now 11 seconds off of Joshua Gayman. So this is, like I said, Josh, I don't see this. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either, but if it gets to the point where, like, it takes another 10 laps or so, and then we get a caution, they might be able to stay out front with everybody coming down pit road. Maybe. I would assume since everybody would want to use that fresh last set on the last run of the race. I mean, I have to see, man. It's racing. You know, anything happens, Chris. We've seen so many different endings. You know, we thought one thing was going to happen for 190 laps before. And then, look at that. Joshua Gaiman, big loose.
And of course, as soon as I click off of him, it happens. And also, just want to point out, we are only an hour and 7 minutes into this race. We're only 22 laps to go. This race has went by quick.
Yeah, it has.
Speaking of going by quick, Ken Baum is now starting to catch Joshua Gaiman quick. 8.3 seconds to that 33 machine. So this is where, like, unless Ken Baum's tires just start falling off so mad, and these guys have just been going on absolute cruise mode, I see by about lap 15, 10 to 15, is where you're going to see Ken Baum catch him.
Yeah, I think he's going to catch him here in the next few laps. Definitely can't make a mistake, though. Makes a mistake, he can eat his tires up just enough to where he can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, as Jimmy Barr down pit lane. Because as I was thinking, Josh, you know, Ken Baum.
Jonathan Coombs down pit road.
Ken Baum has 3 seconds on Kevin Click. So that is also something to look at. You know, Ken Baum has nobody around him. He is really just racing for that race win right now. And everybody behind him is pretty much just trying to set them up for a good position. Now, I will say this, though. If the tires do settle out, and this Joshua Gaiman David Smill machine can stay at a decent pace, I could say they could get a pretty good top, maybe 5 finish. But as far as walking away with a race win, I just don't. I'm not trying to give these guys any, discredit. I'm not trying to discredit them at all. I'm just saying, as far as I'm watching the ticker here, I just don't see it happening.
The way the ticker's going, I think they might get past for the lead, but they might be able to hold on to second and third if their tires just don't absolutely hit a cliff here, and they're able to keep the pace they're running right now.
Yeah, because Ken Baum has already put a second on Kevin Click since I brought up what I was saying. So that's what I'm talking about, Josh. You know, this back behind Ken Baum, everybody is slowly starting to fall off too. So maybe this isn't a race win position for that 27. Maybe he's just trying to set himself up in this lead race as best he can.
It's coming up close to 15 to go here in 2 laps. It is Joshua Gaiman still out in the lead. Yeah, look at that. You can see Ken Baum exiting turn 2 back there. It'll be David Smill Jr. in that second place. These guys have had some hard-fought racing here tonight. We've seen some good battles here early on, but pretty much just been what you see right now, this spread-out single-file racing. And if I think I'm going to be right here, I think we're going to have Joshua Gaiman and David Smill get caught by lap 120.
Yeah, like I said, between lap 10 and lap 15, that was where I was expecting it, which right now Ken Baum has got 3 seconds off of David Smill right now. 2 seconds, under 2 seconds. As I was saying it, just through that corner, he already took off a second. So now almost 2.5 seconds to David Smill, so you're starting to see that fall off from that 27.
Oh, yeah, the 27 has no tires left on that race car. And with Jimmy Barr passing him here, it's going to help Ken Baum Jr. even more. There's Ken Baum in relation to Joshua Gaiman and David Smill. A second and a half now, Chris.
Yeah, you're starting to see they're in the same frame as each other. So, man, just starting to show you massive drive out that Ken Baum is getting on those newer tires compared to that 33 or that 27. But like we were saying, Kevin Click now has to catch him. And William Brown is 7 seconds off of them.
Man, this is one of those races, Chris, that if Joshua Gaiman and David Smill with this strategy, even holding on to second and third, that would be a great race for them. Great finish. And I think right now it's looking like they're going to be capable of possibly having that come into play. A little bit of a gamesmanship right there for the 27 to David Smill. But I think he's going to kind of know his bed's made. That, too, Ken Baum Jr. has come from a whole nother county to catch these guys and pass them. I think it's almost just at this point deserved for that 2 to get that position. And the 33 and the 27 have put up a great fight right now. Or so far, but right now it's looking like it's going to be that 2 with Ken Baum that's possibly going to take this thing home. But hey, I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch.
Yeah, saw a little bit of looseness.
As I say, we could see anything happen here.
It's out of turns 2, into the backstretch, turns 3. It looks like Ken Baum is going to try to make a pass on that 33. Out of turn 4, you see him tucked down there on that quarter panel. New leader, 10 laps to go. See that 33 still trying to hang on to him as much as he can. But with Chris Lynn up there blocking that bottom lane, 33 had no choice but to go ahead and tuck it back in behind him, or he was going to lose a lot more track position than he wanted to.
Matthew Fitz is talking about not having a brake pedal installed.
Oh my lord. That's all you need to hear from Princess Banana Hammock.
For real. But while we were going through the field there, Ken Baum did get that pass for the lead, Chris. And here with under 10 laps to go, it's looking like it's going to be that turn 2 terribles of Ken Baum Jr. who's going to be the guy to beat out there. Unless we just have some insane bad luck come this way. And there could be a caution, Chris. You never know what happens, though. We always like to say it. Anything can happen in racing. If you don't think it's going to happen, expect it to happen. That's just how it is sometimes. But it looks like right now, David Smill Jr. might start trying to work on his teammate here. Pick up that extra little bit of points.
Yeah, because Kevin Click is now starting to slowly catch him, 3.4 seconds.
Or they're swapping position here, and Gaiman is going to be the gamesmanship.
Yeah, with 7 laps to go, this is going to be an interesting play. Maybe might have set themselves up for a good finish here, or set themselves up and for failure. We'll have to see.
Oh, Kevin Click getting loose now. Looks like he got passed by Jonathan Coombs.
Then we see Chris Lynn up in front of Jonathan Coombs in that 32 machine on the bottom lane.
So these two drivers are taking the stripe for lap 125. Ken Baum, your leader, coming into turn 2 right now as he's going to come down the back straightaway. He's got 6 laps to get it done here. As you see that beautiful looking Toyota Camry rolling down the back straightaway. Love the visor color. Love to see the themed and the colored visors on the helmets. Always loved wearing the blue. I love blue, and I love when people wear like the all white visors. That looks pretty cool as well. But get back to it here. These guys have shown, you know, even with the position they're sitting in now, Joshua Gay and David Smill, a really good job done. Maybe they didn't think they had the most comfortable car to run under them to get up there and be up there comfortably all night. They've taken a strategy. It's worked well. You know, hey, this one stopper seems to be right now what's going to help them maybe get into second and third. I say that. They Kevin Click is starting to regain that ground he lost just a few moments ago.
Yeah, now almost a second and a
Second and a
half.
half. Yeah, so he could be up here to spoil that party for these Nitro guys.
Yeah, we'll have to see how much Joshua Gaiman puts the pressure down. I want to say that's why we saw that switcheroo.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's putting Joshua Gaiman on the forefronts here, man. This guy is going to go to war for his commander in front. It's like a strategy game. You just took the guys out front and you put them in the bag and said, all right, hold the flank. Here we go. It's all hands on deck here for these last three. As we're at lap 128 to 130, and you see the gap right there from the blimp with Stan Mayberry on the inside of Kevin Click. That might not be helping Kevin Click and what he needs to have right here, but it looks like he's going to get a big run off the corner exit, and I will take that back of what I said. Now under a second, Chris. Here he comes. 2 laps to go when they hit the stripe.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what happens.
See, it's not necessarily Joshua Gaiman that I would be worried about him passing. It's that David Smill machine you got to be worried. Not saying that I don't want Joshua Gaiman to have a good finishing position, but you know what I mean. These are 2 playoff drivers here, and I think Joshua Gaiman, as I said it before, he's going to turn into Joshua Gamesmanship. He's going to freaking put that race car and make it as big as he can. That is going to be a Ryan Newman-style race car out there. Going to be hard to pass the Rocket Man here in a second. We're coming to the white flag this time. Ken Baum should have already taken it. Oh, he is taking it now. Had my timings off there a little bit. As we get up here, Chris, here it goes. And it looks like Kevin Click's going to make easy work of him. Whoa, they're contacting. Kevin Click to the outside here. We'll see what David Smill Jr.'s got left in the tank, which is absolutely nothing. Big push coming from the 33.
Woo!
Off into the corner. What does the 27 have left? And it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. The 25 around. Ken Baum Jr. is going to take the checkered flag. And then behind him, it's going to be Kevin Click and David Smill. What a race.
All right.
Here's Chris up there trying to get back on to Ken Baum Jr., but...
Make me eat my words. It's a good finish there for that 27.
Great finish here from the 25 to take it right in the last second, too.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Baum Jr., though, going to tie the league high win rate, the league high wins. He's got 8 wins on the season, tying Josh Susie for most wins this season. And man, what a hell of a race from Ken Baum Jr. to really just stay focused. Take that Jeremy's Our First Photography, number 2, turn 2's Terribles into pit road. He don't even got to do no shout-outs anymore. I just did it for him. As we'll watch him get down on that loud pedal, do some burnouts, and have a good time there. Congratulations to Ken Baum Jr. As I think Chris is working on getting your post-race results up on the board, and we'll get through them here in just one moment. As it looks like we do have our post-race results up on the board, as it will be the Ken Baum Jr. number 2 bringing it home to victory lane here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Don't know who that was flying by, but they were flying. You'll see Kevin Click in that second place finishing position. He came on a last lap run to pass David Smill Jr. and Joshua Gaiman to take that second place spot. You got David Smill in a P3 position on a 1-stopper with his teammate behind him in 4th, Joshua Gaiman. William Brown in a pretty good finishing spot here. 2nd in points coming in tonight. He's going to finish P5. Jeremy Zarfos in 6th with Matthew Fitz 7th. Kyler McCarthy, maybe a little bit better of a finish for him, maybe coming in tonight he would wish, but hey, he'll take an 8th place in an unscathed car. He'll come out of here tonight in 8th. Could say the same for Lucas Nilges coming home tonight in 9th with Bill Hells in 10th. Brady Green 11th with William Hobart 12th. Dakota Kuhn 13th, Jimmy Barr 14th with Nick Cannon in that 15th position. Stan Mayberry going to come home in 16th with Chris Lynn 17th. Chad Engel 18th with Andrew May 19th, Jonathan Coombs 20th with Michael Zuber 21st, and having connection issues early in the race, disconnecting at lap 55, and unfortunately not coming back to the race with us. Robbie Bice going to be rounding out your field in that 22nd position. And let's see. Looks like we do have all three post-race interviews ready, Chris. We're going to go ahead and bring up that Ken Baum Jr. machine and have a word with him. Ken Baum Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, got you.
Man, Ken, a great race here tonight, and you actually tied the league for most wins this season. Going to come home with your 8th win here tonight, as it has been looking like a season that has been so well for you. We've seen some big battles between all the names up here, and it seems like after the playoffs being ripped wide open again last week, you guys have been on a new mission. Ken, take us through tonight, man. The Turn 2 Terribles machine looked hot from the start, qualified on pole, fell back to like 3rd place there at the start, but other than that, you're able to manage, bring it back, and get a great late race pass there to seal this victory. Take us through it, Ken, and man, congratulations once again on the 8th win of the season.
Yeah, it was a good race, but technically it's my 9th win because I did win the All-Star race. So
Yeah,
the
sure
cluster that was. Um, yeah, the start I wanted to just get out front and pace myself, but I got loose, just a little loose in 1 and 2, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna fall back and ride and see what the tires have, and I noticed that I could hold it to the bottom off of 4 a lot better than the guys in front of me. So I 3 and 4 was fantastic all night. So I think that was the deal breaker.
Yeah, you guys definitely seemed fast there towards the later half of the race, and found some good speed there on corner exit, especially there in 3 and 4. You guys seemed a lot faster tonight as well. But we've got a good season coming up here towards next week. We got going into the Homestead, Miami. I know it's going to be one of those races for you, Ken, that it's going to be having to stay in your zone. I mean, going into the the cutoff rounds here soon. How are you feeling going into Homestead, and what do you think that 2 machine's got for us next week?
Well, seeing as I won the last 2 Homestead races that we've raced here, I'm feeling pretty good. All 3 of the next races, the racetracks, I'm pretty good at. I've won races here before. I've got 3 straight at Phoenix, so I don't think I want to go in there and expect to win, but you never know with these guys. So we're just going to take it a race at a time, and I'm really hoping that I can bring a rocket ship to Homestead next week too.
I mean, hey, you guys look like a rocket ship here tonight, other than the little first lap blunder there, getting back into the pack just a little bit. But hey, you had a great race, Ken. Like we said, got the great late pass, or the late rate. Goodness gracious, I cannot talk right now. Late race pass to get yourself sealed back up in the lead. So, Ken, if you've got any final words, final thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you get out of here and get the race car starting to get tuned up and ready for next week, we'll let you get them out, get on your way, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, I'm just happy to actually feel 100% after the last 2 weeks where I was not feeling 100% and I just couldn't concentrate or couldn't do the things I wanted to do. Just, it is what it is. So I'm grateful for the win tonight. I'd like, to thank the T22 guys. We work hard and it pays off, especially when everybody on the team runs something different on their car and even we all finish pretty good most of the time and they do a good job and I appreciate their help and Jeremy Surface Photography, the Turn 2 Terribles podcast, and my girlfriend, my baby girl, for all their support. And let's just go. We're into Phoenix, so let's go win a championship.
Heck yeah, man! You guys definitely are into Phoenix, going to Homestead next week. I know you got to feel some type of weight off your shoulder, but Ken, congratulations, man! And hey, we'll say it your 9th win this season now, and we'll hopefully see you run well again next week and have a word with you at Homestead.
I hope so. I'll see you boys later.
All right, thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too.
And that was Ken Baum Jr. Had to make sure to correct me, Chris. Did win the All Star race. That's the 9th win of the season. So we'll go ahead and bring up Kevin Click and have a word with our P2 finisher, one of the other Turn 2 Terribles drivers. Kevin Click, Chris, and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Man, Kevin, it seemed like there for a moment coming to the end of that race, we didn't know if you were going to catch up to that David Smill and Josh Gaiman machine. And then all of a sudden, in the last 2 laps, you put a beeline for those guys. Were able to get up there and seal an awesome 2nd place finish. But Kevin, take us through your night here tonight, man. It seemed like one of those races coming in that anybody could have had success here, and we definitely saw the field get around, coming in third in points, and hey, you had a great finish. Got to pretty much feel like an overall successful night for you guys. But take it through your words, and hey, put us in that picture of how you're feeling after tonight.
Yeah, I did a lot of official racing past week just to get a feel for the place. I'm not great at places that don't require a brake pedal sometimes, and this is definitely one of those places where you have to run hard but keep the tires underneath of you. And you kind of saw that when we started the race. Me and Ken kind of did side by side, kind of bided our time there for a little bit, and let Zuber come back to us when he rocketed out to the league. There, we knew that I didn't think he was going to be able to keep that pace up for very long, and we ended up running him back down. After that, it was pretty much kind of tire strategy more than fuel. You got to keep like I said, you got to keep these tires underneath of you. And then at the end, they're just a little concerned, trying to run those guys down. Me and William Brown were side by side for seemed like 15 laps that we went back and forth, and I was just trying to run my pace. He burnt his stuff up there in the race, which I think kind of added a little bit of extra time to trying to chase those guys down at the end. But I just tried to keep the tires underneath me and get to Josh and David there toward the end to try to get past them, and worked out that I got to them in turns 1 and 2, and was able to complete the pass there 3 and 4 and come home second place. So.
Hey, and you came second place there in a top 5 that was pretty stacked. I mean, just you guys in the top 3 are first, second, and third in points as well. So, I mean, maybe flipped around a little bit. Actually, no, it's not. It's exactly that way. You, Kevin, and David. So, top 3 in points here tonight, man. Finishing in the top 3. It's got to be what I would feel like a big night for you here tonight. And then going into Homestead next week, what kind of momentum are you feeling going into Homestead? And you think it's going to be a track for the 25 machine that you think you're going to be able to bring home some more of this momentum that you guys have brought into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of the same thing that you saw tonight, only the track's a little bit more unique there at Homestead just because of the different lines that you can run. Here, you need to kind of run the bottom a little bit longer, keep your tires underneath the car, but there you're going to be seeing guys all over the track trying to figure out where to run. And clean air this week turned out to be a lot more important than what I thought. Any racetrack that I've done, or any race that I've done previously this year, but clean air is going to be important at Homestead as well, and making sure that you keep the right front and the right rear where you need them to be, so you can chase guys down at the end of your runs. Looking forward to that, and then obviously you want to have a good run at Homestead because you never know what's going to happen at Martinsville in the last race leading up to the finales.
Oh yeah, they definitely put you out in an open field and then put you in a bounce house with all the people that you hate there right before the cutoff round of the elimination race. So it's definitely going to be one of those things that we're excited to see, Kevin. But hey, man, if you've got any final words, final thoughts, shout outs, anything before we let you get out of here, we'll let you get those out, and hey, we'll let you get on your way. Yeah,
thanks to everybody at Turn 2 Terribles for helping me out tonight. Honestly, I actually switched the setups that I was going to run during the warm up, and I got my teammates to thank for kind of talking me through that, and everybody at Brett Mark's sim racing team. Got to say hi to my family, and we'll try to see what we can do next week.
Heck yeah! Well, Kevin, it was a pleasure having you up here in the booth, man. A good run from you guys tonight. The Turn 2 Terribles camp looked pretty well tonight. Hey, excited to have you up here. Hopefully we'll be talking to you next week at Homestead, man, and good luck going into there, and enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy this finish here tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for putting the broadcast on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. All right, and that was Kevin Click. Going to go ahead and bring up our third and final finisher, David Spill Jr., and have a word with him. David Spill Jr., Chris, and Josh up here in the Full Throttle booth. You got a copy, sir?
Yes, sir.
Man, David, I got to say, it was one of those things right there towards the middle part of the race. We were thinking, what are these guys doing? And then in typical fashion, someone in the chat said it. We all had a brain fart and realized, or not a brain fart, more or less, a brain blast, I should say, and realized, typical fashion, Nitro's going for the one stop. You guys definitely almost had the opportunity there with Kevin Click getting caught up to have a great finish there in second and third. But nevertheless, third and fourth, almost got to feel like a pretty good finish here tonight, coming into the night, not knowing maybe what was going to happen starting in six. Take us through the night, David. And hey, again, congratulations on that third place. And yeah, take us through it.
Thank you. I knew just practicing throughout the week it was going to be a race to carry your tires. Field management was going to be huge. When we did NIS a couple of nights ago, it was first 20 laps, just take care of your tires, get in the groove, feel out the car, and a little bit more fuel strategy tonight. Me and Gaiman had to stretch that first stop a little bit more than we probably want to, and I think we gave up too much pace in the process. And that's just what you have to give up to make sure you can stretch that one stop. I mean, we pulled a Susie, so props to Josh for instilling that mindset in us to take care of the car, take care of the equipment, and if you can stretch it, you can definitely make that thing go far. And I mean, I think at the halfway through that first stint, me and Gaiman were back in like 13th, 14th, whatever it was, and we drove back up. And once the pit cycle started, I knew it would be interesting with the different strategies to see how much time you could gain or lose. And we knew after the first stop we had given up a lot of time, and it would have been how much we could have got back after we stopped. But it just goes to show at the end. I mean, Click and Ken are tremendous racers. So you gotta give their hats off to them. They were able to make that work, keep that time gap where it was, where that they could push as hard as they did at the end to get to us. And I'm not gonna complain about a podium 2 races away from the finale. I mean, at this point, it's just stack my pennies and pray to God I can go all in at Phoenix.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be fun these next 2 weeks. Speaking of next 2 weeks, we're going into Homestead next week, David, and we know coming into there, you're going to be third place in points after tonight. Take us through Homestead. How are you guys going to get tuned up with the nitro machines there, and how do you think it's going to be for you going into Homestead with so much riding on the line here?
I mean, not even just for next week, just going into the next 2 races. The key is you have to be in a position to be able to survive Martinsville at the end. That's going to be the important race that you have to put your chips on. Next week is just stay clean, catch my positions where I can, just make sure that car comes home one piece. Hopefully, I'll be talking to you guys again next week. We get another podium. We'll put ourselves in a really good situation to go to Phoenix, but it doesn't matter if you can't survive Martinsville at the end. So the mentality will be another week like this next week, and then hopefully we just survive Martinsville and nothing too chaotic goes on. Hopefully it'll be like the spring. I won't have Susie with me this time, but hopefully me and Gaiman can work some of that magic like we did back in April.
Yeah, man. Well, we know it's going to be one of those things that the Full Throttle faithful are excited to see it. We're excited to see it up in the booth, and I know you guys are probably itching to get ready to tune those cars up for next week. But again, David, thank you for being up here in the booth, man. And if you got any final words, final thoughts, shout outs before we let you get out of here, you're more than welcome to throw them out there, and we'll let you get on your way and get back to, like we said, working on these cars and enjoying this third place.
Heck yeah. First and foremost, as always, nitro setups. I said Friday night, Clayton, the A builder. I mean, I wanted to buy him a beer. I loved this car so much. It was set up so well for my driving style, and every week, man. I mean, T2T guys, shout out to them, but like the proof's the pudding with those nitro setups, man. If you ain't on one, go get one. They're badass. Obviously the team, Kyler, Gaiman, Susie, shout out to you, brother. We miss you. We love you. Brody, Gibney, even though he wasn't here tonight. Chad, all those guys. Could not have a better team backing me every single week. My wife, my 2 boys, who give me the 3 hours a night to go do this. But it'll just be another week. Go home, take the result, enjoy it tonight. Come back tomorrow, ready to work for Homestead, and hopefully go put that Nitro 27 back in victory lane.
Heck yeah. Well, again, thank you for being up here in the booth and taking a moment with us here tonight, David. Again, congratulations on that third place and a bold strategy, man. It paid off for you guys, and we're excited to see what the Nitro Camp's got going on for us next week at Homestead.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for the broadcast tonight, too. I can't wait to go watch this one back because that was a fun race to be in.
Oh, it was a great race. Trust me, we had a blast up here.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks,
David.
guys.
And that was David Smill Jr. Chris, I know you are just itching to talk so bad right now. How do you think going into Homestead next week these guys are going to deal with it, and how do you think tonight is going to affect some of the momentum going into next week for some of these drivers?
Well, one of the things that I know is Homestead is a very, very, very tricky track. It is one of those tracks that you either have it or you don't. I was actually just sitting here talking with Ken Baum in the background, just about Homestead, and just telling him it's not my strong track. I'm not very good at it. So getting in, I'm gonna try to set down in the sim and see if I can get a couple of laps going into it. But that's what's gonna be interesting. Is this track is one of those that turns 1 and 2 is one way, and turns 3 and 4 is completely a different way. So going into next week, this is going to be what makes or breaks the championship. Ken Baum's got to have a good race. Kevin Click got to have a good race. David Smill has got to have a good race. Lucas Nilges, Bill Hills has got to have a good race. Chris Lynn, who finished 17th tonight, he has got to have a good race here to be able to do something, to get ahead. That's going to be something that we're going to have to watch out for. Kyler McCarthy, who finished in 8th, he's got himself set up pretty good, but that's that's where we're looking at. And William Brown also finishing in 5th, he set himself up as well too. So going into next week, they're going to have to really set themselves up, because Martinville, it's going to be a pain in the butt going into Martinsville.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be fun next week going into Martinsville. It's going to be one of those things. Or excuse me, not next week going into Martinsville, after Homestead going into Martinsville. But hey, it's going to be one of those things that we're going to be excited to see what these guys got at Homestead, and then going into that cutoff race at Martinsville. That's going to be crazy. But well, I think that's going to be all of us, or all from us up here in the Full Throttle booth. Once again, thank you to everybody that comes out and chats with us, comes out and hangs out in the stream. I know all these drivers go back and watch the stream sometimes. If you've made it this far, thank you for what you guys do on the stream for us, putting on a great show, putting on a great race. We come in here every week. So excited to see what you guys got going for us. And hell, this week it was another great show and some good strategies, and overall a great finish. I don't think we had one caution the whole race. We went green the whole race, so got over pretty quickly. And I think everybody's excited to go eat their midnight snacks. And if you got some West Coast friends, well, they're just now eating dinner. So hey, we're excited to see you guys at Homestead next week. It's going to be a fun race. One of my favorite tracks to race at. But other than that, I think that's going to be a final sign off here from me and Chris up here in the Full Throttle booth. Once again, saying thank you to Robbie, Matthew Fitz, everybody, all the drivers, all the teams. Y'all make it all possible for us to get up here and do this. And again, all the Full Throttle faithful for sticking with us every race and having a good time with us in the chat and just hanging out. Even if you're not chatting and just viewing it, it means a lot to us, and we appreciate your support. We know it's there. We can feel the presence. So, hey, again, appreciate everybody out in the chat. Appreciate all our viewers, and we'll be seeing you next week when we pack our bags and go to Homestead, Miami. Wednesday at 8 p.m. Don't want to miss it.